What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some alarming news for you guys concerning Anthony Joshua. You know, ever since the upset knockout, we had a lot of strange things that happened. You know, one of these strange things were that the attitude that Anthony Joshua had when he went down. You know, his mannerisms, his tone, the way he was the way his legs shaked when Andy Ruiz hit him, the way his father went at Eddie Hearn after this fight. And like I told you guys, I would like to know what that conversation was about and what he was saying. Now it has been confirmed that Anthony Joshua was knocked out 8 days before he even fought and suffered a concussion. Now, a lot of people that were interviewing Anthony Joshua seen that he had knots and bruises and black eyes and shit. And, you know, and the nature of Anthony Joshua, he's one of those guys that if something's bothering him, he's going to downplay it. Now I see what his kind of attitude is towards certain things. It's like, oh, it's not a big deal. Nah, you know, it's just cosmetic stuff. And blow it in. Don't worry. You know, and I think that comes from the fact that he has a lot of people depending on him. You know what I mean? And the reason his father went at Eddie Hearn, because he had no business in the fucking ring. He had no business in there. This is different from Manny Pacquiao talking about I had my shoulder in training. No, this is different. This is a concussion. If you have a concussion, you cannot be in the ring from 90 to 120 days, okay? You have to be recovered from those type of injuries. That's a cerebral injury. That could have cost him his life, and he doesn't really understand it, you know, and Eddie Hearn pushed it anyway, because Eddie Hearn was worried about making certain numbers, making certain ticket sales, making the profit off of Anthony Joshua because of the event and the magnitude of the event. Look, first of all, let me say this. Certain things aren't meant to happen for certain reasons, okay? Let me explain. He first had an April 13th date at Wembley. You guys remember that? He did that. He booked 2 dates in advance, one in September, another one in April. He knocked out Povetkin in Wembley, and in April, they scrapped that date. They created another date, okay? So after the other date was created, they had to find a opponent. One opponent dropped out. Another opponent dismissed the idea. Another opponent got failed for a drug test. Deontay Wilder, he didn't want to fucking fight. He didn't want to sign the dotted line. So this date on June 1st was a bad omen, guys. Then you got Drake and all that shit. But all these things were set up for this fight really shouldn't have taken place. This should have been canceled. It should have been canceled. He should have fought on April 13th. He could have fought one of his mandatories if he needed to. But I think after that 13th date was scrapped, I think they lost formation. And really, injuries happen in the sport, right? Injuries happen in the sport. But if you get injured, like Usyk got injured, he's not going to go in there and fight with a bad bicep, you know? And my thing is, if Anthony Joshua knew he was hurt to that magnitude, he shouldn't have been in there. And I think, and this has been confirmed, guys, Akali and Okawa was his sparring partners, and they both confirmed he was knocked out in sparring, you know, and he was suffering from that. That's why he looked like he was disinterested. It wasn't the fact that he was disinterested. He was fucking woozy. Something was wrong with this guy. I don't know how many comments I've read that Anthony Joshua did not look the same in this fight. You know, and it's like, well, damn, that's why people are like, what the hell? What? I'm shocked. Really? Wow. He got knocked out? Why? Because he wasn't the same. And those punches that he took And I'm not trying to discredit Andy Ruiz. I'm not trying to do that. Shouts out to him because he did what he was supposed to do. He followed his game plan. But going in there with a guy that's already damaged, concussed, that's dangerous. And you see how easily he went down. He went down like Amir Khan when Danny Garcia hit him. You know, the last time Danny Garcia knocked him down, he hit him over and he just fell over, right? And they stopped the fight the same way, okay? But Anthony Joshua should now really take his career seriously, because he once said that he doesn't want to get seriously hurt in the ring. I remember him saying that. And I think he should remember and practice the thing he preaches, the stuff that he preaches, because this could have cost him his life. This is past boxing. This deals with health, you know? And when your health is on the line, nothing in sports matters. Your health is way more important than a fucking sport, okay? And you got enough money, that's not the case. Sure, you want to deal with legacy and you want to be the best and all this and that and the other, but at the end of the day, you can't do any of that shit if you're dead or in a wheelchair, or if something puts you there trying to get there. You need to focus on your health. You know, the fight should have been postponed, you know, to September or whatever, you know, or just scrap the date altogether. Give people their money back. See you next time. But it all came down to pressure, okay? Anthony Joshua felt, and I know what he was thinking. Well, I got the UK on my back. I got my support team. I got my intermittent team. You know, I have a lot of people that depend on me. And I know that's what he was thinking when he got knocked out. When he got up and thought about it, no, we can't stop the fight. And his father informed him, hey, he shouldn't be in that ring. That's why he went at Eddie Hearn. He went at Eddie Hearn because he was like, you had no fucking business orchestrating and pushing my son to this fight if you cared about his welfare as a fighter, as a person. And he's absolutely right. I mean, you can't go in there, and because Eddie is not a fighter. Eddie don't know what it's like to take a fucking, probably a single punch in his life. Okay? So you don't know what the repercussions are. You never had that firsthand, so you shouldn't do that, you know? And that's coming from not being sympathetic towards the other person, you know, in a foreign situation like this. And it does make sense, because the way Anthony Joshua was acting, he didn't act like himself. Dude, we seen him get hit by Klitschko. That's warranted, because Klitschko had him hurt. And he just didn't go down with one fucking shot from Klitschko, okay? He got caught with massive hooks in round 5, then got taken down eventually in round 6 by a massive right hand, mind you. But saying all that, Andy Ruiz, his punching power, not saying he can't crack. Again, I don't want this to be an excuse, but we do have to have and know all the facts. And this has been confirmed. If Anthony Joshua suffered a concussion from sparring 8 days before, there's no reason and no way possible that he should have been in that ring. Okay? So this is crazy, man. This is it, you know. If I'm Anthony Joshua, I think he should have someone in his family to look after his career, to be somewhat of a manager at this point, because obviously him making a decision like this to go on forth with an event, knowing what condition he was in, or downplaying the position, obviously he doesn't know how to protect himself from these type of situations, obviously. Because people were asking him. I remember Boxing Ego was like, dude, what the hell? You know, a lot of people, what's going on with your face? Radio Raheem was saying that, you know? And I did wonder, I'm like, damn, somebody really beat his ass up in sparring. You know, like I said, he had knots and cuts and stuff like that all over his face. So, you know, it's crazy. But I do think someone needs to step forth, because obviously Eddie Hearn's not going to fucking do it. And if he cares for Anthony Joshua, you got to ask at what extent. You really do. I mean, honestly, because if maybe Eddie Hearn was just thinking about himself. You know, we can't overlook that idea, because if you knew your top fighter, your cash cow, is hurt. Let's put it this way. Would De La Hoya do that to Canelo? That's all you need to ask yourself. Would Oscar De La Hoya do that shit to Canelo Alvarez, the other DAZN king, the other cash king, the other highest paid boxer, one of the highest, if not the highest at this point? Do you think Oscar De La Hoya would let Canelo Alvarez go out there with a fucking injury, or any injury of any kind? I rest my case. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua's concussion. Of course, please subscribe. You guys been Counterpunch. Peace.